Right.
Gang times.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Jacob Rowe with the Lazarus Design Ministries, and I have here Coach Tyler Dixon. We're going to start something new for the Lazarus Design, where we're going to interview Christians. We're going to interview Christians of all kind of professions, like a coach, and see how they live their life to glorify Jesus in their everyday life. Sometimes we have people who, how do I live for Jesus as a construction worker? How do I live for Jesus as a police officer? How do I live for Jesus as a teacher? Well, the Lazarus Design is going to make a way where we're going to interview different people and answer that question and see how do you live for Christ with all these different professions and all that. So we have the Coach Tyler Dixon here. How you doing, Coach?
I am fantastic as always.
As always, that's right.
Always.
By the way, I'm totally digging the shirt.
Thank you.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock. You can't see it. It says knowledge is power, which it is.
The only reason I can speak English is because of Schoolhouse Rock. It's great. I love it. I love it. Well, Coach Dixon, how long have you been coaching?
So I have been coaching, not very long. I guess this is my third year.
Third year?
Third year coaching and teaching. So yeah.
How's your third year going?
I don't know. It's fine, I guess.
Good?
No, I'm just kidding. It's fantastic. I love it. So it's been going pretty good.
Good, yeah. It's good, okay. Now, how long have you been a Christian? How long have you been saved?
Okay, so I got saved when I was 7 years old.
Okay.
7 or 6.
So how old are you now? You're 20?
I'm 24.
24?
Oh my gosh, I'm old. Okay, yeah, I'm 24.
So for 17 years you've been a believer?
Yes, I have. Absolutely. So
it's a long time.
It is. It is a long time.
Long time. You're like an old soul and a young body.
I am. My spirit animal is a 95-year-old man. So.
Do you consider yourself a good coach? In your own personal standpoint?
I suppose so. I guess it's all kind of relative. I feel like I'm a good coach for a third-year coach. I don't think that.
Way to set your standards really high.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be a great coach compared to Coach Isclaw or my father.
You realize Coach Isclaw is like, you take 6 different coaches, combine them all together, and they still don't touch.
Have you noticed? If you look at the offensive staff as a whole combined, we have over 100 years of experience.
You know how much we have
on
the defensive staff?
People, like 30?
Maybe 30, maybe.
That's fantastic.
That's unbelievable.
So, yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, well, cool deal. Well, let me ask you this. So, being a coach,
yes,
obviously, time schedule, time frame is just crazy, right? Crazy busy, crazy packed.
Yeah.
On average, how many hours in a week do you think you work?
Well, we've done the math, and it changes, Obviously, in the spring when sports are over, and we're just regular teachers, the hours aren't too terrible. Mm-hmm. During football season, I did the math. I've done the math. I would be hard-pressed to think that it's below 95 hours at any point.
Yeah.
I mean, we're somewhere between 95 and 110.
Okay, so working 90-plus hours a week.
No doubt.
It must be difficult to do anything. I mean, any sort of relationship in check. So my question is this. How do you keep your relationship strong with the Lord with such a busy schedule?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I don't know if I actually possess all the perfect answers, considering I'm a 3-year coach, and it's difficult. And I actually think this question applies more to not just coaches, but to everybody, because everybody's going to use time as an excuse to some point, to some degree. So for me, obviously, we work at a place where we have Sunday mornings free, and so we go to church Sunday mornings. That's obviously not enough just to cultivate a strong relationship with Jesus. So prayer life, morning, evening, and during the day is crucial. It's just like being married. If you want to maintain a good relationship with your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whoever, you're going to have to communicate with them. So prayer, constant prayer, is absolutely critical. But then, finding time to read, that's where I really probably...
I'm sure you have struggles. That's difficult.
That's the hardest thing to do is to find time to read. So for me, I could say that I read in the morning, that'd be a lie, because I don't. And I could say that I find time to read in the evening, and I don't. The time where I find time to read is going to be during my conference period. That is the best time, and I don't always get to use my conference period for that. So during football season, my reading is not daily, and it should be. But conference period is when I get that done. And there's a Bible study we do. I don't know how many coaches are involved. I'm not. At least I don't go to the meetings in the mornings, but Coaches Outreach Bible Study. I try to do that's kind of what I go through during the
Vibe
week.
there a little bit.
Yeah, and so I go through that during my conference period.
So we say this all the time. So would you say that if you don't make time for Jesus, you'll never have time for Jesus?
Yeah, it's got to be a priority.
I don't care if you work 40 hours a week or 100 hours a week. If you don't make time for Christ, you'll find a reason not to.
Right. Well, and there's I'm trying to think of some easier things to do. For example, when I run, sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes I don't.
Wait a minute, time out. You run?
Believe it or not, I do sometimes.
When do you run? Like we talking like once, like New Year's resolution, or are we talking like legit run?
2-3 times a year, you know.
Hey, that's pretty good. That's like once every 4 months. It's not a big
right.
deal.
So it may not even when I run. If I'm in the car, I'll listen to music, and sometimes though I'll make a decision not to listen to music. I listen to podcasts, and so that's a pretty good.
Are you one of these people that while you're running, you're listening to talk radio?
Yeah, I listen to talk radio.
You're one of those people?
I am. I do listen to podcasts, though, so I recommend Ask Pastor John Piper podcast.
Oh, the Pipe, man. I love Piper.
So
he's legit.
you listen to his sermons and stuff like that. So that's one other way
He's
that
awesome.
I can try to get spiritually fed during my busy schedule.
Okay, I got you. That's great. So second question is this. So coaching is a very stressful environment. I would say that's pretty fair to say, would you not? Like, it's competitive, a lot of pressure to win.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt. I'm talking, especially Texas high school football.
You know, hey, here's a bunch of 16-year-old kids, make them win, and if you don't, you're fired.
Isn't it amazing?
Nice.
Maybe we're stupid, but the fate of our job to feed our families, we put in the hands of 16 and 17-year-old kids.
We went to college for that.
We did. We paid money.
So we're stupid.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so how do you, being a Christian in a very competitive, high-pressured environment, how do you handle the pressure of coaching and still keep a Jesus-like attitude? Because I see how that could become a challenging.
So that is, and I'm going to such a basic church answer, prayer.
See a common thing there. A lot of
Yeah,
prayer.
go figure. Prayer. I've noticed when I am not in a state of prayer, if I haven't been good about praying, if I haven't been good about being in the Word, then I tend to not be very Jesus-like in my demeanor. So
you can tell the difference of when days you started the morning with a good time of prayer and the days you haven't. You can tell the difference in those days.
No doubt. It's clear and it's apparent. So I would say prayer is the number one thing, and then also I try to keep things in perspective as well. You know, as a Christian, we view coaching as a ministry, and I know a lot of coaches probably don't really necessarily see it that way, or a lot of people may not see it that way, but it is. Consider, we are. There was a study that was done once by Coaches Outreach, by the way, that they concluded that the average coach coaches for 20 years, that the average high school is about 1,000 kids, and then they did the math to see how many kids do you directly and then indirectly impact. So directly would be kids that are on your team or in your classroom, and then indirectly would be the people that they go off and marry and their kids, and it's in the tens of thousands. It's
just
hundreds
one
of
coach.
thousands. Just one coach is impacting tons of people.
Unbelievable.
I'm not going to put down my community by any stretch, but go walk through Alvarado, Texas for a little bit, and you're going to see that there's a lot of broken homes and there's a lot of problems there.
That's going to be anywhere.
And that's anywhere. Just go walk around the world, but you're going to see, that there's people that may not have a father in their life, and so you got young men growing up without a father. And as a coach, we are in a position where we can be that for a kid possibly, and that's a blessing. And sometimes we lose sight of that. I think prayer and it kind of helps me remember that. So it's really not the win-loss record. It's really not X's and O's. It's really not even the classroom. I mean, good Lord. I probably shouldn't say it on TV, but does it really matter if they
coaching,
know where Peru is? For example, it's So the most important thing we can provide is almost kind of that fatherly role, that Christian influence in kids' lives, whereas they otherwise wouldn't have one.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the stats are coming out that the percentages are going up that kids are being raised in fatherless homes.
Yeah.
And dads they're not understanding what loyalty is, they don't understand what character is, and that when things get tough, you don't leave your family. And so kids are being raised, especially young men, who need a fatherly figure in their life. So you think coaching could kind of help fill that void a little bit?
No doubt, yeah. And sometimes it fills that void, and sometimes it fills it in a negative way. I've been around coaches who are not Christians, who are not necessarily good men, and that's not good.
I think in the wrong way.
Absolutely, and I think I'm very blessed to be on a coaching staff where I think we all, for the most part, view it that way. I know it's absolutely the way my father views it. I know it's the way you view it. It's the way I view it. So I think that I'm very blessed to be where we are.
I agree. I think that's great.
Keeping it in perspective.
So one way you handle the pressure is keep things in perspective.
Yeah, and it's tough prayer would be the
pray a lot. And I think Jesus, he would get up early in the morning before his day even started. He was praying all the time. Okay, so last and final question here. I've had a lot of athletes ask me this question, and coaches as well. We talked a little bit on Coach's Corner last Tuesday. We talked about this a little bit about being competitive, but how can you be extremely competitive? Because we're competitors. Coaches are the best competitors out there. They want to win in everything we do, right?
Yeah.
So how can you be extremely competitive where all you want to do is win, but yet still reflect Christ? Because sometimes people take that as, you're super competitive, you win all the time. They take it as mean or not very godly, or you can't, if you beat someone, you hurt their feelings, all that. But that's our job. I mean, our job is to be competitive.
It is.
Do you think God likes winners? I mean, He likes us to win. I mean, we can be competitive and still reflect Christ.
Yeah, so that's a really tough question. And again, I probably do not possess entirely the answer to it. I will. I'll share with you my favorite Bible verse, and I'm not a big fan for taking Bible verses out of context. There's context there. And sometimes we pull Bible verses out and try to apply their own, your own meaning to it. And so maybe I do that here a little bit, but it's still my favorite verse because it's Paul writing. It's 1 Corinthians 9:24 says, "Do you not know that there are many runners in a race, but only one receives the prize? So run in such a way that you may obtain the prize. Run to win." I do not think being competitive is inconsistent with the Christian lifestyle in any way whatsoever. I think. And this is difficult. I think it becomes inconsistent with the Christian life when you put that above Jesus. Something I'm learning as I grow spiritually is, we throw around to be saved a lot. We say, "Oh, I'm saved. I got saved." What does that mean? And so what I'm learning that means is making Jesus your supreme treasure, valuing Jesus over everything. If you value winning, if you value competition above Jesus, that's a false idol. That's not good. So Jesus is first. Jesus is my supreme treasure, but trying to do well in the things that I do is to me it's a way that brings honor and glory to Him. I believe it is in no way inconsistent with the Christian lifestyle. No.
I'd agree with that.
Now,
I think that was great what you said. As long as being competitive doesn't become greater than God, then I think you're okay. But that's anything. I mean, anything. We put above Jesus, it becomes an idol. And so
absolutely, even
being competitive, the thought of win, win, win no matter what, if that starts trumping Scripture and trumping how we live the Christian life, I think you're wrong. But if you're competitive but keep it in the context of living for Christ, I think you're okay.
Right. And I mean, I don't know. I think everyone's competitive to some extent. I think that's kind of the way God made us. Our competitive nature is kind of hardwired into us, because if everyone was holistically non-competitive, then
we'd be a bunch of lazy butts. We wouldn't
we wouldn't be doing anything. So everyone has some sort of drive. For us, I mean, you can't be a coach and be okay with losing, because you will get fired.
You'll lose your job real quick.
And that's okay. That's true.
But that's in anything. That's in any job, career, anything. Yeah. If you're okay with being last, then you won't last very long.
If you subscribe to being bad at your job, you will get fired at your job.
Yeah, you will not last. So I mean, I think, and God tells us to do everything as if we're doing it for Him. So if I'm going to do it for Him, I'm going to give my best.
Absolutely.
So I think you're actually cheating God to a degree if you're not giving your best. Now, I think you can win with grace and lose with dignity, and vice versa. How maybe you handle competition can be taken ungodly or godly. If you're a major jerk talking trash and cussing like a sailor, I think you stepped over the bounds a little bit.
And that may be a place I
struggle. I think we all struggle with that.
And I don't know. I'm not necessarily a big trash talker. I don't know. But sometimes
I talk trash, and I gotta be careful. I do. I try to get into your head and just talk, and I need to watch myself. But I think that competitive edge, I think you're right. I think that's a very godly thing. I think it's okay to be competitive as long as you keep it in the context of giving Christ the glory, not yourself the glory.
Well, and that is as I'm understanding, as I grow older and more spiritually mature, that's our chief objective in life.
No doubt.
Is to glorify God. And if I go out there and give crappy effort, what is that? I mean, that's not what He deserves. So compete within the rules. Probably the open Raider philosophy of just win, baby, is probably not super biblical.
Thanks, man. That's good.
Yeah, but winning within the confines of the rules, not cheating, but being a competitor. Again, not inconsistent at all with being a Christian.
I think you're right there, man. That's a great thing. Okay, so if you had, real quick, we'll wrap this up. If you had one piece of advice you would like to give Christian coaches listening, if you could say, hey, man, here's one. If you're a new coach or you're just getting into this thing, what's one thing off the top of your head? Say, hey, man, here's just a little. It could be Christian advice. It could be just, hey, just coaching advice. It could be just, hey, new, whatever. What's some advice you give some of our young, new Christian coaches that are trying to think about being a coach or going to be a coach? or just starting to be a coach? What would you give them? Some advice?
Don't. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. That's not true. I mean, yeah,
there you have it. Okay, you heard it. You heard it. No, don't do it, huh?
Yeah,
run far, far away. Bill Belichick did say he told all of his sons, "Don't be coaches."
Don't be coaches.
And by dang, they were all coaches. Like they're all every single one of them. He said that at the Super Bowl. They didn't listen at all. They're all coaches. Every one of them. So.
I would say, go shocker here. Prayer. So keep a strong prayer life.
Lots of that.
I would say that's probably it. Go into it understanding what it is. Understand that it's a ministry. If you go in thinking that it's not a ministry, then you're a fool, and I think you're wrong, and I think you're going to have a hard time. If you go in just for X's and O's or just for wins, there's going to be times when you are incredibly dissatisfied, and that'd be my advice. Understand why you're going into it.
I guess that's smart. Well, man, Coach, thanks a lot. It's been great, man. It's some good answers there. Blew my mind a little bit, and that's some good stuff. And we may have to bring you back home for something else. You do anything else after coach and teach?
Well, I sell drugs on the weekend.
Hey, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's a joke.
It's a joke, right meow.
Right meow.
Yeah, right.
Good deal, man. Well, cool deal. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right.
Guys, hope you enjoyed that. We're gonna start doing this, interviewing different people. If you want to have a certain profession interviewed, go to our website, www.thelazarusdesign.com. Go to our tough question tab and send us an email and say, hey, I'm this kind of profession. Can you find someone that's a Christian to help me kind of walk that life? Absolutely. Send it to us. We'll try to find somebody who's a strong believer that has that profession, just to kind of give you some advice on how to live that way and how to bring Christ's glory in all that we do, because that's our chief objective. So, guys, hope you enjoyed that. This has been Jacob Rowe and Coach Tyler Dixon with the Lazarus Design. Keep watching our videos. Subscribe on YouTube, and we'll keep on growing and getting bigger and getting videos out there for you guys. So, hope you've enjoyed it. This has been the Lazarus Design, where the dead are called and the saints are awoken. Y'all have a blessed night. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Just want to remind you that the Lazarus Design works completely on donations. All our resources are totally free. So if you'd like to support us, go to www.thelazarusdesign.com and support us there. Of course, you can always check us out at Facebook. We'll Facebook Live on a weekly basis. You can check out all our posts and things that are going on. Follow us on Twitter. We'll tweet out a daily verse or a daily quote to kind of keep you encouraged to live for the faith. Of course, you can follow us on Instagram, where we'll keep our photos updated and videos of things that we're doing out in the world. And go check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe. We'll send you an email every time we make a new video, and you can check out what's going on. And of course, go get you a Bugs Love mug hug. All donations go to our missions and our mission field. It's awesome. These things are great. Love them. Homemade. Strictly for our mission. So go check that out as well. You guys have a great day. Man,